Okay, so we are live. Hello everyone. My name is Alex, and I'm the Global Challenge Coordinator at Hello Tomorrow. So welcome everyone, and thank you for joining this Ask Me Anything session. This time is dedicated to the Global Summit and the Investor Day that is happening between the 20th and 22nd of March, so in less than a month. The idea today is to cover the key information about the both events for you to prepare in advance and to make sure that you can make the best of it. First of all, I would like to introduce you to our guest, Jakob, who's coming from IQ Biozoom. Thank you for joining. Jakob will be sharing his experience last year at the Global Summit and the Investor Day and explain to you a little bit what he's doing. Welcome, Jakob.
Hi, hello, and thank you for having me here.
So first of all, I will start with the presentation of the Global Summit and the Investor Day. Then we'll have Jakob's experience, and finally we'll open up with a Q&A session, so you can ask all your questions to me or to Jakob about how to get the most of it. However, you don't need to wait until the end to interact with us. I can see already that some of you are using the chat. Do not hesitate to ask any questions there. We'll go through them at the end of the session, of course, and then I'll try also to answer them when they come, if possible. Okay, so let's start with the Global Summit. So I guess some of you already know and I've already been to the Global Summit, and hopefully it was a great experience for all of you. So to give you a little bit more information, the Global Summit is one of the first and main activity that we have developed at Hello Tomorrow. Each year we gather the most brilliant minds, investors, industry leaders from all around the world to gather in Paris for a 2-day event. So same as the previous years, the event takes place at 204. It's a wonderful venue, and I'm sure you will love it, and you will love to discover and rediscover it if you've been there before. So as you can see here, we have around 3,000 key players joining the event. So from investors to corporate scientists to discuss and highlight important and groundbreaking changes in the deep tech industry. You can see also below some of the names of previous participants and partners that we've had in the previous edition. So usually we have around 1/3 of startup, 1/3 of industry leaders, and then a mix of the rest is a mix of investor, media, and ecosystem participants. So a lot of different people joining this event. In terms of industry and expertise, you can see that we are covering almost all industries, but we do have quite a lot of attendees with a focus on energy and environment, along with healthcare. So yeah, definitely a lot of medtech founders coming at the Global Summit, and also investors in the health tech industries. As I can see that on the chat, a lot of you are talking already about medical device. In terms of region, we are welcoming a very international audience. A little bit more than half of them are coming from Europe, and then North America, Asia, but we are definitely trying to have people from everywhere joining the event. So to go a little bit more deeper into the summit itself, we have 3 different stages with different happenings and topics on each of them. So the frontier stage is the main stage with 600 seat capacity. It's dedicated to a program that brings together experts from different fields to talk about what everyone needs to do to tackle the most urgent problem in a very straightforward way. There is also the final pitches from the Global Challenge that will take place on this stage, and this is where we will award the winner at the end of the second day. The Deep Tech Academy is the second stage that welcomes a program to exchange about best practices for building and scaling deep tech businesses and gaining insight into technologies that will shape the future. This is definitely a stage that can be interesting for startups. I really encourage you to look at the program and to see what session can be relevant for you. And finally, the third stage is the pioneer stage, on which we will welcome the pitches from our Global Challenge finalists. So 10 tracks and 7 finalists per track will pitch for 3 minutes their solution to a jury panel and then to determine the winner for each category. We do have quite an intense program for the 2 days at the Global Summit, but here I have highlighted some sessions that could be relevant for startups. You can see there that there are sessions from very different verticals, including speakers that are scientific experts, industry leaders, or fellow entrepreneurs as well. I encourage you to go on our website to discover the program in more detail. You will also have it available on the app that I will explain to you a little bit later how it works. We also have dedicated activities dedicated to startups with best practice and feedback to help you through the entrepreneurial journey and all the challenge that you might be facing. So feel free to join and to register. It's always interesting to discuss it also with other entrepreneurs to get their perspective. Here is also a sneak peek of some speakers that will be joining the Global Summit this year. Some are investors, industry leaders, or scientific experts. As well, you have all the information on our website, and I will also share this presentation later. So feel free to discover a little bit more about them if you're interested. I would also like to have a short focus on the pioneer stage. So this stage is really dedicated to startup pitching. So with the finalists of the Global Challenge, many of you have been through this challenge and know a little bit how it looks like. I really encourage you to join the session and to see the finalists pitch on stage. It's very interesting to see this exercise as it is something that is sometimes quite hard, but it's also very interesting to see them pitch. And also, if you haven't been selected as a finalist this year, or if you haven't been through the Global Challenge yet, you are more than welcome to reapply next year and maybe get the chance to be selected and to be on this stage next year. It's a great way to get a lot of visibility during the event and also before and afterwards, as we advertise a lot about our finalists on social media as well. So what's happening during the Global Summit outside of the panel and the conferences? We have an exhibition which is dedicated to our deep tech pioneers. So I'm sure that some of you in the audience tonight have a booth, and it's an incredible visibility opportunity. This is the place where a lot of connections are made and partnerships are negotiated. As attendees usually love this area. They come very often downstairs, so it's downstairs, and they gather and go around the space to meet startups and to discover new technology. They are very keen to meet startups, so if you do have a booth, be ready for them to come at your RTF stand. It's a very very popular networking area. And if you don't have a booth, don't worry. There is also a lot of incredible opportunities for you to network and meet different actors at the summits, whether it's by going to different booths, or also to meet people in different networking areas that are dedicated for it. But how can you meet the people that you want to meet during the Global Summit? So in order for you to have access to all the attendees and to network with them the best way as possible, we have a networking app that we have developed for the event, which will have the list of exhibitors and participants, so you can reach out to them and organize your meetings with them. So the app is the same app as previous year. It's accessible both on the web version and on mobile to facilitate the usage, especially during the D-Day. You will receive, if you have not already, a link and registration ID to log in into the app. Make sure that you update your profile, that you add as much information as possible, your contact info, your picture if you wish, and also updates all the info about your startup, logo, description, what you're looking for, etc. Because a lot of people use this app to connect with people, and the more information you put there, the better, because it will definitely attract some people. So you will see when you log in that some information have already been added based on the information that you provided when you booked your tickets on Universe, or based on your application to become a deep tech pioneer, or through the Global Challenge. Everything is editable. If you have new information to add in, no problem, you can do it. And if there is any problem, feel free to contact me by email. It's not a problem. Your startup will be visible under the filter Deep Tech Pioneers, and for the ones who have a booth, it will be also possible to find it under exhibitors, Deep Tech Pioneers exhibitors. So with the app, you can also bookmark your favorite sessions, the ones that I showed you maybe earlier, so you don't miss them, and organize your day accordingly, depending on the session that you want to meet, or the meetings that you've booked with other people. The app is a wonderful tool for you to network with all the other participants from the summit. You can find attendees with filters by type of attendees, location, what they're looking for. So it shouldn't be a problem for you to find the appropriate person. So we do encourage you to go through the list in advance before coming to the summit, and to connect with the people you are interested to meet beforehand. We recommend you to introduce yourself before by message, before booking any appointment or any meeting with the people, so they know who you are and why you are actually interested in meeting them. So here is a list of the partners that we have for the challenge. They will definitely be here during the Global Summit, and you will be able to meet with them. They are also part of the jury for our finalist pitching. Now, if we go a little bit more into detail for the Investor Day, so prior to the Global Summit, we host the Hello Tomorrow Investor Day, which is an exclusive opportunity for our deep tech pioneers to engage in one-on-one meetings with potential investors from various industries. It's a unique chance for you to secure the funding that can, develop your startup And this day is entirely dedicated to one-on-one meetings with investors, so you can meet as many people as possible. The event is hosted in another location, the Station F, which is the hub for startup in France. So it's a very nice location as well, with a great hall, with a lot of networking opportunities. So every year we have around 150 investors attending this event, focusing on deep tech funds and looking for the best solutions to invest in. So this has become an event not to miss, and tickets are almost sold out, especially on the investor side. So it's definitely a sign, a good sign for us, and hopefully that will be the case for you. So you have here also a few examples of attendees from the last edition that are also coming back this year. So hopefully you will be able to meet the person that you are interested in meeting. So how does the Investor Day go? Well, this day is fully dedicated to one-on-one meetings, as I said, so between startups and investors. It's starting with a welcoming breakfast, and then you will have, during the entire day, 25-minute slot to pitch your solution to investors and convince them to invest in your project. So we do recommend you to book your slots in advance to meet with investors through the networking app. I will go through it again later in a few minutes. However, if you don't manage to book all your slots in advance, no worries. You can also find sometimes free tables where investors have a free slot, so you can just pop in and talk to them. Or we have different informal networking opportunities like the breakfast, the lunch, or the evening cocktail at the end of the day. So on average, we would say that startups have around 4 meetings during the day and also 3 informal sessions outside of those meetings with investors. I see that the day when can we start requesting investors meeting? As soon as the app will be open for everyone, you will be able to start requesting the meetings. So it should be between tomorrow and beginning of next week. So right now the app is only available for you to fill in the information and update your profile. As soon as it will be live, we will definitely inform you, and like this you can start networking and requesting meetings. So same as the Global Summit, you will have access to this app with a specific session for Investor Day. This is something to be careful. They are both separate events, so the list of attendees on the Global Summit side is different from the one on the Investor Day side. So make sure that you're on the right page when looking for connections. You will know that thanks to the banner on top of the page. So you can see if you are on the Global Summit event or the Investor Day event. You can switch easily event by clicking on the menu and switching events at the top of it. But yeah, please make sure that you are on the right event when you do the meetings. So similar to the Global Summit, you can search and filter for investors on the app. You can connect with them directly. Don't forget to introduce yourself by message and to explain why you are reaching out to them before requesting the meeting. Once you book a slot, just remember that this time will be blocked on your schedule and you won't be able to book another investor at the same time. So sometimes it happens that you request a slot and investor take a lot of time to come back to you. Do not hesitate to ask them again and to or to cancel it and to book another one if you wish to meet someone else. It's important to follow up with the investors as much as possible to make sure that they validate the meeting. Some are very responsive, some are less. So it definitely depends on people and on how they use the app. And unfortunately, on our side, this is not something that we can really control. It's also possible that some investors register late on the app. So make sure to check it very regularly before the event if there are any new people that you wish to meet. One thing that is important to note is that both investor and startups can request meetings. So you're not the only one who are able to ask for a meeting. Elizabeth, I see, is there a way to upload our pitch deck to our profile for investor to review? I think you can put links on your profile, but I wouldn't always recommend it because I don't think that the investor will go through the app to see the pitch deck. However, you can send it to them when messaging them. Okay, so now we are going to move on to the next part of the session. I see that there are a lot of questions that I haven't answered yet, but first we'll go to Jacob, and like this he can share his experience during the Global Summit Investor Day last year. So Jacob, do you want to say a few words or?
Yes, of course, but I think it's hard to, to add something after your presentation. So I'd like to start from thanking you for the opportunity for this presentation, for sharing the experience from the point of view of deep tech startup participating in Hello Tomorrow last year. Maybe if I will say something about IQ Biozoom, so the company which I co-found and I'm responsible for the technology development. If you could please share the short video about our company, just to introduce, and then I will say a few words about my experience of participating at Hello Tomorrow.
Czy wiecie, że tu, w laboratorium IQ Biozoom, powstaje globalna innowacja, technologia do nieinwazyjnej diagnostyki domowej, która z laboratoryjną dokładnością w czasie rzeczywistym pozwala mierzyć poziom substancji biochemicznych w naszym organizmie.
W tej technologii chodzi o to, żeby stworzyć urządzenie, które będzie kompatybilne z paskami testowymi do testowania różnych substancji. Stworzenie paska do wykrywania glukozy w ślinie, również stworzenie paska do wykrywania mleczanu w ślinie i też stworzenie paska do wykrywania kortyzolu. To, co jest właśnie niesamowite, to jest to, że my przenosimy tą skomplikowaną technologię do warunków w zasadzie pokojowych.
Wytwarzamy urządzenia bardzo mobilne, które w połączeniu z paskami przeznaczonymi do monitorowania każdych innych substancji biochemicznych po polizaniu i włożeniu do urządzenia umożliwiają odczyt i przesłanie tych danych na przykład do aplikacji w smartfonie i później ich retrospektywną analizę na przykład wspólnie z lekarzem. W IQ Biozoom trudnym do przecenienia jest fakt pozyskania finansowania zarówno ze środków publicznych, jak i od inwestora. Dzięki tym funduszom mogliśmy zbudować zespół młodych, dynamicznych inżynierów, którzy na co dzień pracują w awangardzie nauki.
Często te badania są inwazyjne, wymagają wyspecjalizowanego personelu i wykonywania ich na przykład o różnych porach dnia. Posiadacze naszego urządzenia będą mogli wykonywać te badania samodzielnie, wyniki będą od razu i będzie to wykonywane nieinwazyjnie, a dokładność tych badań będzie bardzo, bardzo wysoka. Będzie to podstawą do diagnozy i dalszego efektywnego leczenia.
IQ Biozoom jest doskonałym przykładem bardzo dynamicznego, młodego zespołu oraz świetnej technologii o ogromnym potencjale skalowania. Analizowaliśmy nie tylko sam potencjał technologiczny, ale również zdolność zespołu do skalowania tego podmiotu. I zdecydowanie rekomendowałbym inwestycje drugiej, trzeciej i czwartej rundy, tak aby skalować ten podmiot innym funduszom inwestycyjnym czy innym partnerom technologicznym oraz finansowym.
Naszą ofertę kierujemy do producentów sprzętu medycznego, a także sieci medycznych, które poszukują nowych nisz rynkowych właśnie w dziedzinie nieinwazyjnego monitoringu parametrów ludzkiego organizmu. Przewagą technologii IQ Biozoom, jeśli chodzi o detekcję biomarkerów z ludzkich analizów, jest po pierwsze to, że jest to całkowicie nieinwazyjna metoda pomiaru. Po drugie to, że jest to metoda bardzo dokładna, wrażliwa. W zasadzie jesteśmy w stanie w warunkach domowych mierzyć poziom wybranych biomarkerów w ślinie z dokładnością laboratoryjną i w czasie rzeczywistym. Wynik otrzymujemy natychmiast.
Jesteśmy przekonani, że nieinwazyjna metoda, którą mają do zaoferowania founderzy tego pomysłu, sprawdzi się nie tylko w Polsce, ale również w Europie i na świecie.
Widzę, że to ma faktycznie sens, ma potencjał i że to może być coś przełomowego i to takie dobre uczucie pracować w takim takiej awangardzie właśnie. I wyobrażam sobie, że kiedyś jakbym zobaczył mój produkt na półce na przykład, to byłoby super świetne.
To, co nas motywuje najbardziej, to myśl o ludziach, dla których robimy naszą technologię. Myśl o tym, że ona może w realny sposób podnieść jakość życia wielu milionom ludzi na całym świecie.
Okay, so thank you for that. So as you see, we are a kind of deep tech startup working in the innovating the medtech technologies in non-invasive home testing, and we were glad to participate last year in Hello Tomorrow event. I mean, speaking in startup language, actually the value proposition of Hello Tomorrow is network, as Alexandra already said. So I think especially in the technology, in deep tech, technology is not for solists, right? So we are glad just to participate in an actually very big event, connecting people from, as was already said, different industries, different, geographically diverse in networking areas, in booth places. We also had a booth which was very comfortable just to network with other people, other entrepreneurs, other technologists, and other investors, and share the experience. We also participated in the Investors Day. So I spoke with, as I remember, 12 investors. Actually, to be honest, I will be glad to see the, let's say, conversion rate or the success rate, how to say it, how many investors really invested after the meetings. But from our side, 2 of these 12 responded, and then we had some conversation and further steps with them. But besides those investors days, they were also very fruitful from our perspective sessions, especially dedicated for a funding sources, right? So there will be several sessions. There were several sessions with experts talking about EU funding sources available for startups developing the technology on actually every TRL, so technology readiness level. So everyone on every stage of development could find something for themselves as a effect of the participation in these sessions. We applied for 3 European calls since then, building a consortia, international EU consortia, and applying for funding to Horizon Europe and EIC as well. And what is also very important from our perspective, which already Alexandra said, so the app, and I will really recommend you to use this app as fast as possible, because as you probably know, the event is big, time is limited. So if you would like to connect with someone that you really want to, please do this as soon as possible and make some, personalized message to them. Try to catch, their attention and go for some lunch, but do this very, very, very quickly. So as I already said, it's hard to add something more to Alexandra's presentation, but I'm open for discussion for some questions for actually deep tech startup.
Thank you so much, Jakob. So you talked a little bit about the Investor Day. Maybe can you also share during the Global Summit, what was did you participate in any sessions? Did you join them? Did you see the finalist speech on stage? What was the thing that you thought was the most useful?
So I will start from the Investors Day because it was extremely well organized. I participated in several these kind of sessions around the world, but this time I remember that I said to Dorota, our CEO, that it was really organized really well. I mean, the time is really nice because 25 minutes. Because to be honest, I don't believe in investing after pitching during pitch session, because it's like kind of beauty contest, right? You need to have some time to get to know with the investors, and this 25 minutes was really nice to create the first impression, right? I mean, it's not 3 minutes and okay, it's beauty contest, but we have 25 minutes. We can just speak a little bit, get to know each other. Also, the startups have a chance to know the investors, not only just to say about themselves, but also ask some questions about the investors, about their portfolio, their strategy. So I think that this area was really well organized and time was perfect. And as I said, I managed to spoke with 12 of them during the whole day. So because 12 times 25 minutes and 5 minutes between each session just to switch the tables, so it's really time consuming. But if you plan this correctly, you will have a chance to fill almost all day for chatting with investors. So I highly recommend participating in this session. On the other hand, during the summit, I've participated in sessions with opinion leaders, let's say, from different countries, especially related with the markets which we are targeting, right? Because if you are going global and thinking about expanding your business to other markets, it's good to participate in the sessions with opinion leaders, politicians, some CEOs of big companies from that countries, and then hopefully chat with them, making appointment on the app, or just catching them on a corridor and said, okay, I've been at this session. It was very important or interesting what you are saying about. So I'm thinking about expanding my business to your country. And this is also very, very, I think, fruitful. And as I already said, the sessions related with funding. I mean, as a CTO, I aim constantly funds for developing the technology. So both investors and sessions devoted to public sources or grants or Horizon Europe programs or European Innovation Council programs. So you can meet people that could help you firstly to get information about the programs, but also since you need to build consortia from different countries, especially in EIC from 3 different countries with 3 different entities. So it's a good place just again to network, to know people, and then hopefully apply together for these public sources from the EIC or Horizon Europe and so on. So the sessions about funding as well, opinion leaders and investor days for me, from my perspective, was the best constant points of the program. But simultaneously, we network with other participants in our booth or this network area.
So we have a question from Alexander who asked how many investors you met at your booth, if they were appointed meetings or if they just came in like this.
I mean, during booth, they were investors. I'd like to say plenty, but I cannot count actually to be detailed, because on the one hand you have investor day just when you pick the investors, but on the other hand, if you have a booth, people are just walking around, and we met several of investors, around 10, because they have the badge with a investor written down the name, so you can recognize them, you can chat with them. But actually, to be honest, they didn't make a feedback after the Hello Tomorrow event from these booth meetings.
Okay,
And
thank you.
and concerning this appointment, no, they just they just walked around without any appointments.
So yes, usually for the exhibition, most people just come by the exhibition. They go through the booth, and most of them just come and talk to you. Some of them who are very organized and like to have well, it's usually the ones that have a lot of people to meet or a lot of sessions to go to. They do request appointments, so it's possible that you can have appointment when you're on your booth. But most people just walk by and come and meet with you, especially if you're there. So yeah, it's a great way to meet a lot of different people. So do not hesitate to ask any question on the chat. Yes, Alexander, regarding the booths, all the booths have a different number. There will be a map at the entrance of the exhibition where the people can see where are the different booths located. It's also present on the map, on the app, sorry. So both on your profile and on the profile of your startup, they can find the location of your startup and of your booth. So it's easier for them to meet with you. Then Dana had a questions regarding when the app will open up next week. Well, as early as possible, I'm going to say. It will depend on how fast our partners and the startups as well update their profile, but it will probably be Monday or Tuesday. But don't worry, you will receive an email from us and from Grip to access it. Sometimes it can happen that the Grip email end up in the spam, so do not hesitate to check out your spam in the next few days. And if you don't receive anything, please contact me. I will share my email address at the end, so that if you have any problem, I'll be happy to help out and find a solution. Ekrem, what would you recommend to create investor and partner lead in the Global Summit? Jakob, do you want to answer this question? How to meet with them the most efficient way, maybe?
I mean, for the investors during the investor day, so since they are over 150, right, investors, so it's really easy to catch one, because they are there just to meet you, right? So they are open for meeting. They are just sitting on the table, right? So you just if you try to make, I don't know, 20, 30 appointments with a success rate of 50%, so you have all day cover with meeting with the investors. And what I've done is just, hi, I'm the CTO at the company working on med tech. We are developing non-invasive diagnostic device based on novel semiconductor devices, something like that. Would you be open to chat on the potential investment? And that's all. I don't prepare any presentations, any videos, just to chat them, two-sentence hi, because they are there to meet you, right? So it's this kind of convention, very understandable. And even I've met several investors from really big international VCs, right? And they are really high-level managers at these VCs, which will be hard to reach in different conditions, right? But in this particular event, they are there just to meet you. So highly recommended just to write them a message. During the summit, it was harder, but it was understandable because there are plenty of sessions, a lot of people. So if you would like to meet someone particular, it could be harder, but also you can just, track someone on the corridor and catch him. It's also easy.
Yes, that's the beauty of a physical event now that we can do them again after a few years where it was a bit more complicated. Now it's actually when you bump into people in some informal areas, like also the meals. If you're waiting in line to get your food, it's also a great way to meet people. So yeah, do not hesitate to bump into people and to talk to the others that are around you. So to explain a little bit more about the booth, so Simon, you asked if there was a booth only at the summit or also at the Investor Day. So the booths are only at the Global Summit, the Investor Day, and I'm going to answer Alexander's question as well. The Investor Day is only, it's a setup for only one-on-one meetings. So you have basically a lot of tables with investors having their own table, and the startup move to a table from one table to the other. So you will be the one moving around, and then you will be able to find the investors through a map. And I think if it doesn't change from last year, they are in alphabetical order, so it's easier for you to find them. But yeah, you have a lot of different tables, but honestly, it's not hard to find anyone. Yes, Simon, unfortunately, it's a little bit too late for the booth. The registration was quite early because we do print big walls with a lot of information about the startups on the walls, and everything has been printed out already. So we ask for actually a registration quite early. And because we also have very limited space, every year we try to have more and more booths. So this year we had 70 booths. Hopefully next year we'll be able to expand a little bit more the exhibition. But yeah, but don't worry, if you don't have a booth, it doesn't mean that you will not meet anyone during the summit. It's also you also have plenty of opportunity to meet people in other areas or during other sessions. Regarding the side events, there are some side events that are happening before the Global Summit and Investor Day. All the side events are available on our website under the Deep Tech Days icon. I will share also the link with you later on. But usually the last event is the Global Summit, and we do end the day at 6 p.m. with the award ceremony for the Global Challenge finalists, which will be from 6 to 8 p.m. And then a very nice after party where everyone is welcome to join and to have a drink with us and everything, and to continue network if possible. Is there any other questions? Jakob, do you have anything else that you want to add?
No, actually, I'm really highly recommending the participation, especially in the Investor Day.
Great. Well, thank you.
And use the app as fast as possible.
Yes, exactly. So yes, you will have all the information on the app, Dana, to answer your questions about the after party. So it's basically right after the award ceremony, downstairs in the exhibition area, and everyone is welcome there. And yeah, there will be information about it on the app, so you can know where to find it. And then we have a question from Simon. What are the most common questions you have from VCs in the 25 minutes chat?
Actually, to be honest, it was not like a Q&A session. It was like regular chat, regular conversation, right? So, of course, they are asking about how much money we'd like to raise, how we would like to spend those money, about our team. But it's just a regular conversation about the company and the potential investor in the company. So, but yeah, how much money, for what, and tell us something about the team. Of course, the market, but it's not like going into the details, right? It's just the first impressions, first meeting.
Great. Well, okay, one question from Alexander. Okay, so just to explain to you a little bit what's happening at the booth. So you will have a big wall with all the information that you filled in on the type form. So basically the name of the startup, your track, what you're looking for, your target markets, the description of your startup, and then depending if you've selected a TV, a poster, or prototype version, you will have one of the three. All of the booths this year have a high table where you can put a laptop if needed, but there will be no chair. So it might be quite a long day for the people who are standing at the booth. Unfortunately, there is not a lot of space, and it's actually nicer to talk to people where you're not seated. So this year, honestly, we didn't have the opportunity to add any chairs. There is indeed power if you need for your laptop. Do not hesitate to let us know to Orlando and I if you need power. Usually they are at all the booths, but just in case, feel free to send us a short email saying that you will need a plug for your computer. But yeah, most of the booths will have access to a plug. Well, I think we're going to have to end this session now. Thank you, all of you, for participating, for asking your questions. If you have other questions, feel free to reach out to me. You have my emails here on the screen. You also have Orlando's probably. Will be very happy to answer any questions that you might have if you have any issue with the app as well. So I sent out already an email earlier today with some registration ID. So if you haven't received anything, please let me know and I will send you your ID so that you can connect to the app. And then now it's your turn to work a little bit and to fill in all the information and to make your startup as visible as possible. So use it as much as you can, and hopefully it will be a great outcome. I'm very excited to meet you all very soon at the event, and thank you all for joining. Thank you, Jakob, for your presentation and for sharing your feedback with everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you for attending. Thank you for giving me the opportunity for sharing my experience. Thanks and have a good afternoon.
Bye-bye. Thank you all.
Bye.